What if I told you one storm at sea helped trigger a revolution, a genocide, and a new world religion? Year 622, the Red Sea. A merchant ship from Abyssinia limps into port after a storm. On board are Arab refugees from Mecca. Among them, a quiet man named Jafar ibn Abi Talib, cousin of Muhammad. Years earlier, when Meccan elites persecuted early Muslims, Muhammad told some followers to flee across the sea. Go to the land of a just king who wrongs no one. The king is the Negus of Aksum, a Christian emperor. Meccan envoys arrive with gifts. They demand the refugees be handed back. They say these Arabs insult Jesus. The Negus summons Jafar. In a crowded court scented with incense and frankincense trade, Jafar speaks. He describes pre-Islamic Arabia, tribal wars, infanticide, idols, then the Quran's message: one God, charity, justice. He recites verses about Mary and Jesus. The court is stunned. The Negus draws a line on the floor with his staff. He says the difference between their belief and his is no thicker than that. He refuses to surrender them. Meccan merchants leave furious. Years later, in 628, another crisis. In nearby Najran and Himyar, on the Arabian side, Jewish and Christian rulers have fought over conversion. One Jewish king, Du-Nuwas, massacred Christian villagers at Najran earlier in the century. Byzantium and Aksum invaded in response, toppling him, planting Christian rule in Yemen. That chain, persecutions and counter-invasions, has already weakened old South Arabian kingdoms that once dominated incense routes. Into that vacuum step new Arab powers. Back in Medina, Muhammad signs the Constitution of Medina, turns feuding clans into an ummah with tax and defense rules. He sends letters to surrounding rulers. One goes to the Negus. Sources differ, but a version survives, offering respect and alliance, not conquest, trade and safe passage. Aksum, pressured by Persian and later early Muslim naval moves, slowly withdraws from Arabia. Its last garrisons in Yemen vanish from records. In Mecca, the Quraysh economy fears being bypassed. Muhammad's growing community threatens their control of the Kaaba and its visiting tribes. Battles follow. Badr, Uhud, the Trench. In 630, Muhammad enters Mecca almost bloodlessly. Idols are destroyed, but major families are largely spared and integrated. Across the Red Sea, Aksum's power wanes. Arab Muslim fleets and merchants begin to dominate routes to India. Ethiopian highlanders keep their faith, cut off from many Christian centers after Islam spreads through Egypt and the Levant. Centuries later, crusaders meeting Ethiopian pilgrims in Jerusalem call their land Prester John's Kingdom. Because one African emperor chose conscience over bribes, early Muslims survived extermination. South Arabia's religious wars toppled ancient kingdoms, Mecca's merchants lost their monopoly, and a quarter of crises around the Red Sea cleared space for Islam to expand, reshape trade and theology from West Africa to Indonesia, and leave Ethiopia as both a survivor of Christian antiquity and a living reminder of how refuge, betrayal, and shifting sea lanes can redirect the fate of civilization.